India is out. Finally, one day in 1803, the Mughal king in Delhi was forcibly asked to sign a treaty that way. The people for Allah, the country for King His Majesty, and the order for the temple. Meanwhile, Shah Abdul Aziz 1746 to 1873, who was observing the situation, very carefully issued a fatwa saying that India is turned into a Darul Hadith country. Muslims must wage war against the British, but the ground was not prepared to start any revolutionary movement. So Sayyid Ahmad Shahid, a disciple of Shah Abdul Aziz, with his companions, migrated to Kandahar in Afghanistan in search of a land from where he can run a revolutionary movement. Unfortunately, the greatest militant movement of the subcontinent suffered sedition of Afghans and finally collapsed. The remaining people, especially the Ulama Sadipur, continued their mission inside India. Dear listeners, the sparks of heaven anger against the English burst again in 1857. This time it was not a mutiny of a group, but a mass revolt against the English throughout the country. In Shamli, Indians revolted in the leadership of Haji Imdadullah while they were fighting in Lucknow and Faizabad under the command of Begum Nawab and Maulana Ahmadullah. Meerut and Delhi were the centers where Indian army men were fighting for Sultan Bahadur Shah Zafar. The revolt continued for months, but the Indians were defeated in the long run. It is noteworthy that the caravan of freedom was led purely by Muslims till 1857. Since the power was extended for Muslims, so they were naturally the first enemies of the Indian government. According to historians, 77,000 Muslims were only hanged to death. Shah Zafar was exiled to Rangoon and his descendants were finished off. After the failure of 1857 revolution, the Muslim leaders changed their strategy. They started setting up educational institutions across the country to combat the disaster of British policies. On the foremost of Maulana Muhammad Qasim Nanopuri and his colleagues who established Darul Hadith, they went to produce a team of ulama who could fight eyeball to eyeball with the British government. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Jawaharlal Nehru, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, Maulana Hussain Ahmed Madri, and Maulana Ubaidullah Sindhi, and many others were great freedom fighters who fought against the British for freeing India from the clutches of the English. The first student of Darul Hadith, Maulana Mahmud Hassan, known as Shaykh al-Hind, charged out a plan known as Reshmi Rumal movement. Shaykh al-Hind had a secret agreement with Ottoman Caliphate of Turkey to attack on British bases in India and prepare ground for revolt. But this plan also was sabotaged. Consequently, he was arrested and sent to Malta Island. Around 1919, Jamiyat Ulama Hind came into being to provide Muslims a platform to fight against the British. Dear intellectuals, one of the most valiant Muslim freedom fighters, Ashfaqullah Khan, was not only a revolutionary but also a poet and a true patriot. As an active member of the Hindustan Republican Association, he played a significant role in challenging British rule. His participation in the historic Khaturi train of 1925 marked his fearless resistance. He laid down his life at a young age and unwavering courage and a steadfast commitment to India's freedom continue to inspire generations. Dear audience, these are some brief extracts from the history of freedom. Otherwise, the sacrifices that Muslims have offered to free India from the British slavery can't be described in a short speech. The purpose to mention these sacrifices is to remind you our prayer past. Since it is said that a nation which fails to treasure its history is lost in the darkness of time, such a nation has nothing that inspires it to face new threats with courage and determination. May Allah keep Muslims of India safe and may India be the most peaceful place in the world. Hindustan Zindabad.
Zindabad.